Alright guys, as you may be aware, 3.18 went live on Friday morning US time or Friday afternoon Australian time. It is now Tuesday afternoon and the PU, I was asleep. The PU is still down at the moment. So, the big questions are why it happened, how we can stop it from happening again, and yeah, basically the big questions. Or what happened. So let's jump into that. What actually happened? Basically what happened was mass amounts of players tried to join a live server and basically did the equivalent of DDoSing it. So a DDoS is where you use bots to mass join someone's server or some server, which then causes it to basically time out or disconnect from the net or shut down or whatever it may be, depending on the server. But the goal is to obviously take the servers offline. The same thing happened with CIG and 3.18, but instead of bots, it was just people with accounts trying to play the game. Now, the best thing is that it goes to show that Star Citizen's player base is very much alive and well, and it also goes to show the amount of hype that people want for this patch or this game. So, in a way, it's a good thing because it's showing how popular Star Citizen, our little game, is. And I mean our little game because of the community. I don't work for CIG. So, yeah, basically that's the silver lining is that, yeah, it shows you how popular it is. So what actually happened, right? So we do actually have an announcement from CIG. And now this is the status page. So status.robertindustries.com. And this is where they're updating all their information. So if you ever want to go find out what's happening, obviously go and check this page, and I will refresh just to make sure it's up to date. So it's listed as since the launch of Star Citizen 3.18, our teams have been monitoring a number of issues players have been encountering while attempting to log into the game. These are primarily being manifested in the form of 1903 errors, which is what I basically had all weekend, a 1904 error, and a mix of similar codes. While monitoring those issues, the teams have been able to tune and make adjustments to the entitlement processing flow to ensure that large portions of the players' attempts were still successful and able to make it to the PU. However, at this point in early morning UTC, the environment entered a state which would render a more disruptive recovery process. As of the 1300 UTC, on the 12th of the 3rd, the environment has been in process of recovering from the slow, non-responsive state, and in which was advised that we would recovery effort is in process. Players will be experiencing extremely difficulty getting into the PU. We expect players to see a mixture of 19k errors, 30k errors, and my favorite, the 60k errors, because that's what I'm getting at the moment. I'm on the 60k boss. It's good. A more detailed breakdown of each specific issue we can track can be found at the knowledge base. So I have checked it out, and it basically just says like 60k errors is like request location instances full or not available. So here's more information here. So as of the 12th, the environment entered into recovery phase. Initial notice recovery in progress. Shards are slowly coming online. Recovery is still ongoing. Reducing severity of outage will continue to monitor recovery. However, on the 13th, the escalating to major outage, the team is working to recover the environment as a global database entered a bad state, temporarily disabling character repair to protect accounts while recovery is in progress. The environment is accepting new players. Character repair access restored. Team is working to mitigate increasing error rates. Character repair temporarily disabled. And then obviously today at 10 to 4 in the morning, reducing severity to partial outage while we validate the outcome of the infrastructure maintenance. So, yeah. Basically, so what's happened is it sounds like the servers have just been absolutely wrecked by people trying to join and basically causing the servers to collapse. So, I'm seeing a lot of people blaming CIG. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that this is CIG's fault or this shows that the code doesn't work. That's not true. Basically, the only way that CIG could test this fully is obviously go live, like they did. But obviously having more players on the PTU would allow them to stress test. And that's the big takeaway from this, is at the end of the day is that they need to get more people onto the PTU to stress test the systems, because obviously the stress testing on the PTU is not enough as it is. I did see a couple of posts where CIG were asking people to play the PTU. So I don't know how many people were on the PTU this round, but it doesn't seem like there was as many as they would hope. Or maybe they expected some sort of, or expecting some sort of problem like this if they didn't test it. But guys, that's the big thing, is that we need everybody to jump onto the PTU and stress test it when there is a PTU patch out. Now, obviously, I did come up with the idea that maybe CIG should give people like trophies, stuff like you can put in your hanger, like hanger flare, that allow you to say, like, for example, say you've like signed into the PTU or played like 4 hours at the PTU, you get like a 318 trophy. Or maybe you'll get like a trophy for being like a PTU tester for 318.1. Or maybe like, you know, like a plushie or something like that. Something that'll allow you to go through and make it a little bit more rewarding for testing for the PTU. But guys, that's the big takeaway from this is, and look, I've played games like Destiny. I was a big Destiny player when the Dark Below or the Taken King, I think it was Dark Below, came out. The Destiny servers were offline for like 2 or 3 days. And this is Bungie that we're talking about. You know, even their servers have the same problem. Call of Duty has had the same problem. Battlefield has had the same problem. Battlefield's always having problems. But you know what I mean? Like, even major game studios that have all the backing in the world from like these large corporations and stuff, even they have the exact same problem. So at the end of the day, if we do want to stop this, and look, obviously at the very least, at least this has happened now, and it didn't happen on 4.0 or even, God forbid, live. Like, for example, like it going into like minimum viable product. So at the end of the day, obviously this will allow them to go through and strengthen the back end system, strengthen that up, and obviously allow this to have a more error-free 319 4.0 maybe launch. But guys, yeah, obviously at the end of the day, like I say, as for what caused this, it's just the mass amounts of players that have jumped in that were causing the servers to collapse. Now, a lot of people have turned around and said, you know, like, oh, CIG's lost all this money, these people are never going to come back, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not true. That most people will try and sign in, be like, oh, servers are down. Boy, this game must be that popular. I'll give it a go in a month. I'll give it a go in a week, or whatever it may be. So at the end of the day, most people will just simply go off, play something else, and then come back when the servers jump online. But at the end of the day, guys, yeah, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. As for this, it's just basically, it was just us all wanting to play the new patch, and we basically accidentally DDoSed the connection. So like I say, good thing is at the very least it goes to show how popular our little space game is. And I say we as in like the community. I don't work for CIG. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Obviously this video has been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, obviously we'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. or we'll see you at least when the patch goes live, I suppose. Have a great night. Enjoy yourself. Well, works, I should say. Have a great night. Enjoy yourself, and we'll see you in the verse.